Nearly 2,000 years ago, thousands of hands turned a ruined corner of Rome into the greatest arena the ancient world had ever seen. The chosen location had once been occupied by the luxurious golden house of Emperor Nero, whose vast palace symbolized excess and personal power instead of public service. At the center of Nero's estate lay an enormous artificial lake that would have to disappear before construction could even begin. Roman engineers first surveyed the land, carefully measuring distances, elevations, and soil conditions across the former lake bed. The lake was drained through a series of channels, allowing thousands of laborers to begin clearing the muddy ground beneath. Removing the water was only the beginning because the saturated earth underneath remained unstable after years beneath the lake. Before any stone could be placed, Roman builders needed to transform this soft landscape into a foundation capable of supporting one of the largest buildings in the ancient world. Thousands of workers arrived carrying shovels, baskets, picks, ropes, timber, and simple measuring tools, beginning one of the largest coordinated construction efforts Rome had ever attempted. The project demanded careful planning because every measurement made during these early stages would influence the stability of the entire amphitheater for centuries to come. Long before the famous arches appeared above the skyline, the true challenge began beneath the ground where the future of the Colosseum would be decided. Channels carried water toward existing Roman drainage systems, while teams excavated mud, sediment, and unstable soil from the site. The labor was slow, dirty, and dangerous, but the foundation would need to support hundreds of thousands of tons of stone and concrete. The labor was slow, dirty, and dangerous, but the foundation would need to support hundreds of thousands of tons of stone and concrete. The amphitheater would rise nearly 50 meters above the city and eventually hold tens of thousands of spectators. Unlike Greek theaters built into natural hillsides, this arena would stand independently, supported by a carefully planned network of arches and vaults. A ring-shaped foundation of Roman concrete was poured deep beneath the outer walls, creating a stable base around the entire structure. Teams mixed lime, water, volcanic ash, broken brick, and stone aggregate in carefully controlled batches beside the excavation. Wooden forms held the wet material in place until it hardened into a foundation capable of carrying the enormous load above. Beyond the foundation, the project required a constant supply of limestone, volcanic stone, brick, marble, timber, iron, and mortar. Much of the pale travertine used for the outer structure came from quarries near Tiber, more than 20 kilometers from Rome. Quarry workers followed natural fractures, cut channels into the rock, and hammered iron or wooden wedges until massive blocks separated from the mountainside. Each block was shaped, marked, and prepared for a difficult journey by wagon and barge toward the center of the capital. Oxen pulled heavily loaded carts along Roman roads, while drivers, guards, and laborers managed every dangerous turn and steep descent. Inside Rome, narrow and crowded streets made the final stages of transportation even more difficult. At the construction site, trained crews unloaded the blocks using wooden cranes powered by ropes, pulleys, capstans, and human strength. Men walking inside enormous wooden wheels rotated lifting drums, allowing stones weighing several tons to rise slowly above the ground. Other workers controlled guide ropes, preventing suspended blocks from spinning or crashing into scaffolding, walls, or people below. Precision mattered because a single snapped rope, cracked beam, or misunderstood signal could kill several workers in an instant. Stonecutters refined each block with chisels and mallets, creating surfaces and joints that allowed neighboring pieces to fit closely together. Iron clamps joined many stones, while molten lead poured around the metal helped secure and protect the connections. Bricklayers and concrete crews worked behind the stone exterior, forming walls, passages, stairways, vaults, and the structural core that supported the entire amphitheater. The Colosseum's strength came not from one material, but from the intelligent combination of stone, brick, concrete, iron, and geometry. Repeating arches transferred weight downward into massive stone piers, while barrel and groin vaults created strong ceilings above corridors and stairways. Carpenters built temporary wooden frames beneath every arch, supporting the stone until the final keystone locked the entire structure together. Once the arch became self-supporting, the wooden framework was carefully lowered, dismantled, and reused throughout the construction site. Construction advanced around the enormous oval in carefully organized sections, allowing specialized crews to work simultaneously across the site. Surveyors constantly checked alignments, elevations, curves, and distances using measuring rods, plumb lines, stretched cords, and water levels. Even the smallest error could spread throughout the structure and prevent arches, corridors, or seating levels from aligning correctly. Towering forests of timber scaffolding surrounded the growing amphitheater, allowing workers to reach every level safely and efficiently. Every day, laborers climbed these towering platforms without modern harnesses, powered equipment, or mechanical safety systems. The workforce likely included paid laborers, skilled craftsmen, military engineers, enslaved people, and workers connected to the imperial building administration. Their individual names have mostly disappeared, but their fingerprints, tool marks, measurements, and decisions remain embedded in the monument they built. Some workers possessed years of specialized training, while others performed repetitive physical labor under strict supervision and difficult conditions. The site demanded an enormous logistical network supplying food, water, timber, animals, replacement tools, medical care, accounting, transportation, and constant coordination. Scribes recorded deliveries and wages, while supervisors assigned crews, inspected progress, and reported developments to imperial administrators. Blacksmiths continuously sharpened chisels, repaired iron clamps, forged fittings, and maintained the tools that made construction possible. Carpenters repaired cranes, ladders, scaffolding, lifting wheels, platforms, and countless timber components required throughout the project. As the outer walls climbed higher, 3 monumental levels of arches began to dominate the skyline of Rome. Different architectural orders decorated each level, giving the enormous facade elegance, balance, and visual harmony. Inside, builders created sloping seating tiers supported by an intricate framework of walls, arches, stairways, and vaulted corridors. The circulation system was carefully designed to move enormous crowds quickly through numbered entrances, passageways, staircases, and seating sections. Social status determined where people sat, placing the emperor and senators closest to the arena, while ordinary citizens filled the upper levels. Hidden beneath the arena, a network of service corridors allowed workers, performers, animals, and equipment to move without being seen by the audience. The elaborate underground hypogeum visible today was developed later, but even the earliest arena required sophisticated backstage operations. When Vespasian died in AD 79, the amphitheater remained unfinished, leaving his son Titus to oversee the final stages of construction. In AD 80, Titus officially opened the Colosseum, unveiling the completed amphitheater to a population that had watched it rise for nearly a decade. Domitian continued expanding the complex by adding upper seating and developing the extensive underground structures beneath the arena. For generations, the Colosseum stood as a place of spectacle, politics, public gathering, entertainment, and imperial power. Yet behind every celebration stood the forgotten builders who quarried stone, mixed mortar, raised cranes, shaped arches, and devoted years of their lives to creating this monument. The Colosseum still stands today because emperors imagined it, engineers designed it, and countless ordinary people transformed that vision into stone with their own hands.